Good morning, it's March 28th, one full week into spring. It's minus 20 Celsius, minus 4 Fahrenheit. Going up to only minus 7 today. So, yeah, it's spring, sure. Pull my other leg. Anyway, heading downtown. I apologize for not walking yesterday, but my knee is still bothering me. If you walked with me on Friday, you know that. And I thought I'd give it a bit of a rest yesterday, and it seems better today, so hopefully it'll hold up for me on this walk. Sort of the usual routine. I'm heading down to Brewed Awakening coffee shop to work, and then hotel for lunch. I have to run and do some errands at the Cornwall Centre in between. Another reason not to walk is that the ice is just terrible. Because it has been melting, and then we get this cold again, and so anything that melted turns to ice, and the downtown streets to be okay, which is another reason to walk downtown. But the ones I'm on right now, these sidewalks are not good anywhere in the neighborhood, so I'd really like to not fall down. Whew. Terrible. But in places quite bare, so, it's hit or miss. Hello? Whoever said hello? Monica, hello. So work-wise, the Kickstarter continues apace. This is the Kickstarter to fund the anthology featuring science fiction and fantasy by authors who are guests on my podcast, The Worldshapers, theworldshapers.com. And we're at 10,438 this morning. The goal is 12,000. And the midway point of the campaign isn't until tomorrow, so we're 86% funded, almost 87. Still with more than 2 weeks to go, so looking pretty darn solid. I hope to not just fund, but fund by a few $1,000s extra so I can add illustrations to the book, which I've never done before. By Wendy Nordell, who illustrated my science fiction poetry book, I Tumbled Through the Diamond Dust. Oh, good grief, this is solid ice out here. And spots, it's just a sheet of ice. Wendy happens to be my niece, a very talented artist from Alberta. That's still Monica? Or did somebody else say hello? Hello. Oh, urban environment. Yes, I've been in Moose Jaw many times. In fact, I have another niece that lives in Moose Jaw. And I wrote a book, Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw, a few years ago. So I spent quite a bit of time over there then, taking pictures of and walking, constructing those walks. And I would love to go walk in Moose Jaw, maybe this summer. It'd be fun to do. I could study up my own book so I knew remember what I was looking at. Some of the stuff that I had in the book is gone now. Moose Jaw was famous for River Street, which was well, it wasn't the Wild West because it was more the 20s, but during Prohibition, Canada didn't have Prohibition, and so there was a lot of rum smuggling going on. Legend has it Al Pacino, no, that's the actor, Al Capone is the guy I meant, would sometimes come up to Moose Jaw and it was too hot in Chicago and hang out, but nobody knows if that's true or not. There was a guy who claimed he had seen him there and taken a dentist to him or something. They do play off that connection, for sure. In fact, they have a thing called the Tunnels of Moose Jaw, which they're kind of tunnels, they're underground. There's two of them. One of them is fairly historic. It's about Chinese migrant workers at the time, immigrant workers. The other one plays off of the gangster bit. Hello. I can't read it. But hello. Dance something. It looks like. Sorry, too bright. Bad eyes. Can't read. At least this is often very icy, but at least it's melted off. Moose Jaw's about a 45-minute drive from here, 40-minute drive along the Trans-Canada. It's pretty quick to get to, especially from where we live, which is kind of out on that side of town anyway. Well, it's kind of downtown, but it's easy to get to that side of town. I think we'll probably cross here. Looks like it'll work out pretty well. It did work out well. What she was listening to. I couldn't hear anything. You can see here where there's been a puddle and the water has splashed up onto the sidewalk and now frozen. I'm having trouble getting the gimbal right where I want it for some reason, because I keep holding it at more of an angle that's confusing it. My knee feels good, so that's good. It was definitely still a little wonky yesterday, but resting it seems to have helped. I have no idea what. The knee pain came out of nowhere. I couldn't tell that I'd done anything to it. It just started hurting one day, and now it seems better again. Maybe a bit of a twinge, but nothing like it was when it was stabbing me the other couple of walks. So hopefully that's over with. See if I put it against the dark background. Saskatchewan. I can't remember what my plan costs. It's an unlimited data package. Get a discount on it because my wife is a Saskatchewan engineer. And I do usually, by the end of the month, if I do enough walking, will get a notice that my bandwidth has been restricted, but that doesn't seem to affect the uploads. It's more for the, if I were doing a lot of downloading. So Saskatchewan is the Crown Corporation communications company in Saskatchewan. We now have 5G widely in the city, which has helped as well. One reason I quit doing a separate upload off of the phone was that with the 5G connection, I mostly get high-def live streaming. Also, apparently Facebook is now letting it stream in 1080. It used to be 720. So now I just post the live, and I rebranded. Like when I first put it on, it says live. And sometime after the live is over, I just take it off and it just says Walking in Regina with the date. But I no longer have two sets of them, because I did for a long time have the live stream archive, which was set 720 and often buffered quite a bit. This one sometimes buffers, especially if I forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi as I left the house. It may have happened today, I don't know. And then I would take the recording that was stored on the phone as I did it and upload that separately, but I quit doing that. Saves time. I see flashing red lights up there. I wonder what that's all about. Looks like we'll be walking right by them too, so we'll see. I guess when we get there. Somebody stopped for speeding, maybe. Yeah, I put up my hood. I'm wearing my heavier gloves, all the winter stuff. drawn-out, cold-looking spring so far. Still no major thaws in the long-range forecast last time I looked. Which, of course, now takes us to almost to mid-April. At some point it'll break and it'll suddenly pop up and get really warm. And I can't wait. Snow came before, like in late October, I think, this year. And it's been here ever since, so time to say farewell to winter, believe me. And I'm going to just stick to main roads because, again, of the ice situation. These are mostly better. But again, where there has been water, you'll sometimes see ice on the sidewalk that's splashed up from the curves. That's not what this is, but it just seems to be a little skip of snow for some reason. Maybe we got a little snow last night. I don't think so. We go by fire hall number 1 here. There goes a fire engine, just as if to prove it. Followed by a FedEx truck. A white car. A gray car. Credit Union Center over there, as you can see. And a cab. Oh, but I got my light, so I'm good. Thai, Cathedral Social Hall. In between is a little framing place. It's been there forever. Never used it, but it's been there forever. As long as I've been walking along here. Viterra over there, wheat marketing agency. Bus stop ahead of us, of course. There is a bus network. I never take it, so I can't really speak to it or about it. That's a strange phrase, speak to it. I'd like to speak to the motion. No, you're going to speak about the motion. You're going to speak to people about the motion. I guess those lights are further up than I thought. They're way up there at maybe the Saskatchewan Drive intersection. Maybe there was a coming together, as they used to say in the Formula One race commentators when I used to watch Formula One regularly. Now we watch Drive to Survive on Netflix, so we're really into Formula One again, but we don't watch the races themselves. They're mostly at bad times, unless they're in the States. If they're in Europe, you have to get up really early to watch them. And I used to, when I was a bachelor, but I'd always fall asleep watching them on the couch, so it wasn't worth it. We'll go through the Esso. What do you call it? It's not a parking lot. Just the lot, I guess. People don't park here, except however long it takes to put gas in their cars. Again, that's North Canadian Oil's building over there with Fresh and Sweet in the bottom, a coffee shop I never go to, even though I could. I don't know why. I've said that many times, and I'll probably say it again. So dry cleaners over there in that little white building where we take stuff. It's been there forever too. Well, if you define forever for as long as I can remember, which after all is the way most of us define forever. Anything before we were born is not quite real. TTH Law Firm. I always read that as the law firm, but it's actually TTH. Oh, I can still make it here if I walk briskly. And then across here. By City Hall over here. Courthouse over there. Last time I came by here it was much springier, much less wintry. Gold building over there is Saskatchewan Government Insurance. There's City Hall. 17 stories tall. Gee, I don't know. I'm an immigrant, but that was in 1967 and it was from Texas, so. And we moved to a small town. In fact, didn't even live in the town. I really couldn't say. I mean, way more opportunity in Regina than Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw's quite small, 40,000 people, if that, 35. Regina's 260,000, 50,000, somewhere in there, 30,000, I don't know. Call it 250,000, that might be an exaggeration. Actually looking forward to going to this concert, and the group I sing with, What Kind of Voices, is going to have a workshop with them as well. A world-renowned vocal ensemble. That's the Balfour over there that I always point out. I like that building. Knox Metropolitan United Church, as it says. The cornerstone was there. That cornerstone goes back to another church from 1905. This is a nice little garden, but not very gardeny at the moment. First Baptist over there, I'm singing in their Easter concert on Sunday night. Helping them out, helping out their choir. They're not my regular choir. I have a solo too, a couple of them. One solo and a solo within a song. They just don't have much of a bass section, so I'm been asked to come in and help out. Land Titles Building, Hotel Saskatchewan, my lunch spot of choice. In the curvy SAS Power building beyond that. Over here is Victoria Park. And our little cluster of taller buildings downtown. Skyscrapers are anything over 10 stories, so you can still call them skyscrapers, but they would be insignificant in a really big city. You wouldn't even notice them in Toronto or New York. Of course, that's where the Cenotaph is, as I always point out, the World War I memorial. Then became a general war memorial, as World War I proved not to be the war to end all wars, unfortunately. Up on top is the Royal Suite. I've been in there. That's where the Queen used to stay, and I presume King Charles will stay if he ever visits Regina. I've never stayed there, but I've been in it for events and a couple of times, receptions. I have stayed in the Vice-Regal Suite at the Besborough Hotel in Saskatoon when my wife was president of Apex. They used to have their annual meetings here and at the Besborough, and the president would stay in the big suite because of the hosting he had to do. Sorry, Scarth Street here. That's also a government building. I like that one, kind of Art Deco-ish. And our coffee shop is up here half a block, so almost done this little walk. My knee, I wouldn't say I can't feel it, but it's not hurting enough to be a bother, so oh bother. So that's good, because that's the main reason I didn't walk yesterday, was to give it a chance to hopefully improve from what it was the day before that. Friday, actually, not the day before, last time I walked. Here's Edward Tower and Rude Awakening, our coffee shop. So thank you for walking with me, and I'll be back later when I walk home. Bye for now.